And just as tomorrow is a busy day for high school softball, it's pretty busy for high school baseball as well, with district semifinals underway. As we welcome in Jordan Cairo, the Director of Scouting for Prep Baseball Report Ohio. Jordan, thank you so much for taking some time with us tonight.
No problem. Always a pleasure, Mark.
Let's dive right into it. We'll begin in Division I, the Bowling Green District down at Carter Park. A couple of very interesting matchups. Anthony Wayne taking on Fremont Ross, Findlay taking on Springfield tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Findlay pulled off one of the bigger upsets of the tournament so far, taking down St. Francis. I'm not going to lie, I didn't see that one coming, but they got a solid group with a bunch of quality baseball players. So they're riding on a heater going in to play Springfield. And then up at the top of that bracket, you have Anthony Wayne against Fremont Ross. Anthony Wayne, the prohibitive favorite, but Fremont Ross has a couple really talented arms. So that's going to be a really interesting one. I'm excited to see how that turns out.
It's going to be very interesting to see what also occurs down in Findlay at the Liberty Benton District with St. John's taking on Perrysburg, a matchup as soon as the brackets came out a couple of weeks ago. Everybody was kind of circling this one, looking forward to seeing the Titans taking on the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at two perennial powerhouses. Anything can happen here. Both teams littered with talent, and in a game like this, once you go to the playoffs, and you get this deep, experience plays a factor too, just like a lot of sports. So it's two teams whose coaches have been there before, players have been there before. They're not going to be too scared of the moment. I think like exactly what you said. We all had this game circled. I'm going to be excited to see what happens. If it was on ESPN, I'd have popcorn. We'd be watching it the entire from first pitch to last pitch.
Of course, you'll be able to stream that game on the BCSN Now app. The other semifinal at Liberty Benton, the defending state champions Northview taking on Clay. Eagles still very much alive in the track. And we heard today, Northern Lakes League Player of the Year, Alex Dupree from the Wildcats. So a Northview team that has a lot of experience.
Yeah, you just said it. Very similar to what we just hit on with the previous game. I think Clay probably has more star power, for a lack of a better term, from top to bottom. But Northview took down some really big teams last year. Once you've done that once, you believe you can do it again. And they got the talent to match up with Clay. I'll be excited to see with all those arms, how Clay decides how to use them throughout this matchup. But like I said, after last year, if you pick against Northview and you're 100% sure about it, I think again, because they've shown you they got the talent, they have the coaching staff to make a deep run in this thing.
Let's talk a little bit about Division II out in Archbold. Defiance, they did win their sectional. Got a little bit of a scare from Wasion, but the Bulldogs move on as they will take on Bryan. And then we've got Central Catholic taking on Rossford in that second semifinal.
Yeah, I think when you look at that region, it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's baseball, so I wouldn't say it's played out how we thought we would. But when you look at those potential matchups, you look at the talent level between a team like Defiance, who we said last week is probably the favorite, and it's hard to pick against them. But Central Catholic's coached really well as well, where they have the players positionally in a couple arms where they can make that interesting. So I think those two are the favorites going into that. Maybe see them line up, but like I said, another very interesting region there as well.
Now, a few weeks ago, you thought Ottawa Hills had a good chance to knock off Tenor. That is exactly what happened, as the Green Bears have moved on to the Division III district semifinals.
Yeah, that's going to be a really interesting game for people around the state to take a look at, because Ottawa Hills, I'm a big fan of them, as I've said on here several times, but they're going up against a dude. Genoa area has a guy named JJ Hartman that's been up to 90 miles an hour. We saw him this spring. So their road doesn't get any easier, because that's going to be a guy that's hard to score runs against. But with that scrappy lineup, they got all the ability to do so. But that'd be another one where we definitely have our eyes on.
So there you have it. District semifinals set for Wednesday, in some cases Thursday. Championship games on a Friday, as we are getting down to the nitty-gritty in the high school baseball season. I want to thank our guest, Jordan Cairo, the Director of Scouting for Prep Baseball Report. Jordan, thank you.
Take it easy, Mark.